way, Vice Chairman Stevens, members of the committee. This oversight hearing could not be timelier. The FCC is poised to make some bad decisions, and it seems to me at this point only congressional oversight can get us back on track. My good friend Chairman Martin, in what I consider a regrettable lapse in good judgment, proposes in just 3 business days from now to throw open the doors to newspaper broadcast combinations in every market in the country. To make matters worse, he would do so before the Commission does anything meaningful and systematic to revive some of the localism that has been lost in our broadcast media, and before we develop a workable strategy to reverse the sad and embarrassing state of minority and female ownership of U.S. broadcast media. Our attention should be on fixing these problems that media consolidation has caused before we feed another frenzy of big media sales and swaps. Our attention should be on the upcoming DTV transition that threatens television outages and a consumer backlash, the likes of which you and I may have never seen. Our attention should be on comprehensive reform of universal service to bring the tools of 21st century opportunity to every citizen in the land. The media ownership proposal in front of the Commission is presented to us as a moderate relaxation of the newspaper broadcast ownership ban in the 20 largest markets. But a look at the fine print shows that the proposal would actually apply the same test in every market in the country. That's right, any station can merge with any newspaper in just about any market. The only difference is that in the top 20 markets, you start with the presumption that you meet the test, while in the other markets, you must overcome the presumption. But we make that about as easy as taking your next breath. 4 embarrassingly meaningless factors are provided to help applicants overcome the presumption. And you don't even have to meet all of them. It's just a list of the things that the FCC will consider. And given how the FCC has considered media regulation in recent years, you can write your cross-ownership deal up today and it's pretty close to a slam dunk. You're not going to get much pushback from us. The process here has been no better than the proposed outcome. The Commission conducted hearings, reluctantly, on ownership and localism. Yet I cannot find anywhere in the pending item the citation of a single citizen's testimony. Were people's comments without value? Is public comment now extraneous to our decision-making? And why were some hearings called with such little notice that people often could not attend? There are other process breakdowns attending this proceeding which time precludes my discussing: inadequate studies, items written and circulated before the comment period closes, and so on. The point is we need processes at the FCC that allay distrust rather than short circuits that create distrust. To me, this is just plain nuts. We rush in to encourage more consolidation without addressing the damage consolidation has already caused. Is our response to the decline of localism really going to be to encourage more one media company towns, often controlled from afar, rather than instituting a real honest-to-God license renewal system where the presence of localism and diversity determine whether or not you get your license renewed? And please don't tell me that a little localism tweak here or there can fix the problem, so don't worry, go ahead and vote ownership consolidation next week, and we'll come back and do a better job on localism later. We should all want a comprehensive localism package now. That's what we were told was coming when the localism proceeding was launched. Not that we would rush ahead to encourage more of the consolidation that did so much to diminish localism in the first place. Why can't we systematically address the fact that in a nation that is almost 1/3 minority, people of color own only a scant 3% of all full-power commercial television stations? Is it any wonder that minority issues and minority contributions to our culture get such short shrift in an environment like that? And why minorities are so often depicted in caricature? Is our response to this really going to be to take the smaller stations where the few lucky minority and female owners exist and put those stations into a new media bazaar? What we have here is a stubborn insistence to finish the proceeding by December 18th, disregarding both public and congressional opinion. There is a way out, however. The Media Ownership Act of 2007 has been approved by this committee. Our FCC conversations on media ownership should be guided by this bill's provisions. The legislation provides a simple and an eminently workable roadmap. I've had conversations with my colleagues about the need for a credible process along these lines. I am deeply disappointed that the decision has nonetheless been made to plunge ahead on December 18th. We should have been able to reach agreement. I hope we still can. But when overwhelming majorities of citizens oppose further media consolidation, when members of Congress write to us almost daily to caution us, and when legislation to avoid a 9-car train wreck is moving through Congress, I think the FCC has a responsibility to stop, look, and listen. I worked here in the Senate for 15 years, and I feel a keen responsibility to listen to its members, and especially to this committee. But I don't think the Commission is listening very well right now. The stakes in this debate over the future of the media are so enormous. This has been my #1 priority at the Commission, as most of you members know. I've studied the history of this country, and I know how precious media is. The diversity and creativity of our culture can be enhanced, or it can be diminished by the media environment. Media can reflect and nourish these things, or it can shove them aside. And there has been too much shoving aside in recent years. Our civic dialogue can be either expanded or dumbed down by media. Lately, our policies have encouraged an erosion of the civic dialogue upon which the future of our democracy depends. I hope this committee can yet save the Commission from itself. Thank you for the opportunity to testify, and I look forward to your comments, your guidance, and your questions.